Hey guys, in today's video we'll show you our top quality multi-time frame analysis that no one talks about. So stay tuned. But before we continue, we also want to note that we have a Telegram channel as well, where we post signals and other top quality educational content. So here's $1 weekly time frame. And as you can see, this week we ended on this massive bullish momentum candle, confirming that last week's daily effective support breakout was actually fake, and now we're rising well above the previous recent high on the beautiful momentum candle. And our next resistance is always 1.19, meaning our monthly effective resistance. So in our view, it's not a problem for price to rise right to that level, but again we would like to see a clear price action at this area to confirm our long-term uptrend. Since for further confirmation, we would like to see a clear higher high from that level to confirm that our dominant trend, that our long-term trend is bullish. Because in the opposite example, if the price will reject this area, again with these long wicks, it would form for us a double top, meaning a bearish reversal pattern, and we may proceed it down. But again, since we have this beautiful massive momentum candle coming right at the key level, we expect a bullish scenario more realistic. With that being said, for now we have a bullish bias on the euro-dollar on the weekly time frame. So let's move to the daily. Before we continue guys, we also want to share with you our VIP group performance. As you can see, almost 2000 pips was made this week. As you can see, very beautiful performance. We sent a real-time trades. We also sent the setups every weekend. We also have an educational program included in our VIP group. So as always, all info will be in the description to the video, in the comment below. And you also could contact our support team for any question and we will answer you as soon as possible. So with that being said, let's move to our analysis. So here's daily. And as you can see, we have a clear bullish price action on the daily time frame as well. So first of all, we have a clear higher highs and higher lows, as you can see right here. We have a higher high, and right now higher low and higher low. So like we said, it's not a problem for price to rise up to our next monthly effective resistance. So since we have a clear bullish price action on the daily time frame, we have a bullish bias on this time frame as well. With that being said, our two high time frames are confluent, meaning that we will look for only long trades during the week on the euro-dollar, since we always would like to trade with a dominant trend to do not trap in any fake outs. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. So here's 4-hour time frame, and first we can clearly see that we are in a rising channel as price is making higher highs and higher lows. So let's draw this channel. Let's draw our upper trend line right here. Let's extend it. And let's draw a lower trend line as well, connecting these two swings. So okay, we have our channel. As you can see, once price touched this last time, it reversed a little bit. And again, it beautifully rejected the 50 EMA and proceeded up. And now price on its way to the area of high confluence, where the upper trend line and the monthly effective resistance are lining up, meaning that we would like to see a clear price action right at this level. Since this level is too strong, we may even expect some pullback again to test the lower trend line, since this area represents a lot of sellers on its way. But anyway, if breakout will happen, what we would like to see, so first we would like to see a clear breakout right at that level, and then some pullback to reject or the broken trend line or the monthly effective resistance which turns into support in case of breakout, or the Fibonacci golden zone, or some confirmation on the lower time frame. And then enter long and target at least 1.20 with a stop loss below the monthly level, somewhere right here. So with that being said, let's move to the pound dollar. So here's pound dollar weekly time frame, and as you can see, we ended this week with this bullish candle, but we have a very long wick which is sticking out from the monthly effective resistance area, which is not good in terms of pure bullish price action. But anyway, we are closed well above the daily effective resistance, which now turns into support, which can be considered as some bullish signs. But as you can see, price failed to close well above and to make a higher high from these previous candles, meaning for us some price choppiness and losing bullish momentum. So with that being said, we have an indecision bias on the weekly on the pound dollar, since it failed to make a clear higher high from these two candles. So let's go down to the daily. So here's daily, and here we could see a way better picture in terms of bullish momentum, since we have a clear breakout of the daily effective resistance which now turns into support with this momentum candle, and then price is pulling back. What is Moses pullback is normal, considering that its wick are rejecting the 0.61A level, and the candle was closed in the golden zone, meaning that the price could easily pull back right from that level and show for us a clear higher high. But again, we would like to see some confidence factors to confirm our bullish buys on the daily as well. So with that being said, let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Here's the 4-hour time frame, and like in the euro-dollar case, we could easily draw a rising channel. So let's do this. Again, upper trend line, you can see right here, and let's draw a lower trend line as well. Here we can see a lower trend line. Okay, that's all. So again, as you can see, price touched the upper trend line and drastically reversed from it. But anyway, we are in a global uptrend, and this can be considered only as a bearish wave, and we may expect a further trend continuation of our global trend right to our next monthly effective resistance area, which comes at 1.32. We have an area of high confluence right here, where the trend line and the daily effective support are lining up, meaning that if the price will reach this level, we have a very high probability of reversal to our monthly effective resistance. So to discuss our trade idea more in depth, let's move to the 1-hour time frame. So here's 1-hour time frame, and to confirm that this wave is over, we as always would like to draw a trend line. As you can see right here, we may draw a beautiful trend line which is respected multiple times on the 1-hour time frame. And once the price will break this level, this trend line, and the 50 EMA as well, we may easily jump into the long trade and target our monthly effective resistance, as you can see right here. So this is a very easy trade within the trading channel, and as you can see, we have a clear white swings allowing for us to drop the trend line, meaning that this could be considered as a picture perfect A+ trade next week. But again, we have a very small chance for a bearish scenario as well. So we may consider it as a short only if we see a clear breakout of the lower trend line and the daily effective support as well. So let's move on. So here's $CAD weekly time frame, and like we said in our previous video, price failed to break above this daily level and proceeded down. And as you can see, we have this red candle forming this week, but we don't have a clear bearish price action on the CAD on the weekly time frame, as the price has failed to make a new low and rejected this zone. So we would like to see further confirmations on the lower time frame. So let's go right into it. So here's $CAD daily time frame, and as you can see, even though the price came up to our daily effective resistance with this momentum candle, it failed to break right through it and then proceeded down drastically. But on the other hand, we have a clear long wick rejections of this area, which is also the round number level area, meaning 1.31 price level, located right here. And we have a clear long wick rejections on the daily time frame of this level, which we actually don't like to see in terms of bearish momentum, since it's demonstrated some bullish power. And as you can see, then price shows for us a very choppy price action for the coming 2 days. So again, we have an indecision bias on the daily for the USDCAD. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame to discuss some trade ideas for the USDCAD. So here's $CAD 4-hour time frame, and let's draw a trend line. As you can see right here, we can draw a longer term trend line on the 4-hour time frame. So we got it. And as you can see, we have 2 obvious scenarios for the CAD next week. So first we have a bullish scenario, meaning that price may break the trend line and the 50 EMA. And if this happens, we may target the next daily effective resistance. But again, since we are in a global downtrend and our higher time frames telling for us that we are globally in the downtrend and no signs of a possible trend change presented itself on the high time frames, for now we have a higher chance for a bearish scenario for the $CAD. For the bearish scenario, we would like to see the following. So first of all, we want to see a clear break of the structure level, and as always, some kind of rejections. But again, to discuss this scenario more in depth, let's proceed to the 1-hour time frame. So here's 1-hour time frame, and we could add another confluence factor as well, meaning the trend line. As you can see, we could easily draw a trend line right here. So for a confirmation of our bearish bias, we want to see a clear breakout of the trend line and of the structure level as well. So if this happens, we will target our next resistance, which comes to 1.30, and the stop loss suggested to place somewhere above the recent swing high, meaning somewhere right here. So picture perfect trade is an easy execution. So let's move on. So here's gold weekly time frame, and as you can see, this week we have a long wick candle right here, rejecting our monthly effective resistance with this long wick. meaning for us is some kind of bearish price action on the weekly time frame on the gold. So with that being said, let's go down to the daily. So here's daily, and right here we may draw a rising channel as well. Let's connect these swings and this. And as you can see now we have a very tight price choppiness right at this area where the daily 50 EMA, the monthly factor resistance and the lower trend line are all lining up. So as you can see, very choppiness price action. And to confirm our trend as bearish, for instance, we would like to see a clear breakout from that level with a momentum candle. But again, if the price will hold this level, we may catch the next wave and target our upper trend line. But again, we also want to note, guys, that we have a clear lower high right here. There is a beautiful bearish price action, meaning that right here we have a clear red momentum candle. But again, let's move to the lower time frames to discuss this more in depth. So here's 4-hour time frame, and to enter a short, we would like to see at least a clear momentum move right from that area, making a clear new low. So if we see a bearish engulfing, we may easily jump into the short trade. And as always, stops will be suggested above this high or even above this swing high, and our first target could be somewhere right here at the start of the channel. And we could also consider a bullish scenario as well. So to enter long, we would like to say the following. First of all, let's draw a trend line right here. So great. So to enter long, we would like to see a breakout through our three confidence factors, such as the monthly effective resistance, the 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, and this trend line. Only once these three structures will be broken, we may jump into the long trade and target our upper trend line. So with that being said, let's move on. So here's US oil weekly time frame, and as you can see, the price rejected the 50 EMA and the 0.618 area with a long wick and then proceeded down, meaning for us a no bullish momentum as we are approaching a lot of confidence factors on our way. So since we have the rejections, the trade may continue right to our weekly effective support right here. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame to discuss both scenarios for the coming week. So here's our structure from the previous analysis. And as you can see, like we said, if the price will fail to break right above it, it could easily go down. And here it is, we have a clear downside movement right from that area. But again, back into the next week, what we want to see. So in terms of bearish momentum and bearish bias, we may draw this trend line and clearly see that we have a momentum breakout and then even a rejections of it. So if we see the same bearish momentum and we could clearly make a new low from that trend line, meaning that if we break these structures as well, we may jump into the short trade and target our next weekly effective resistance area. But again, if the price will fail to do that, we as always could jump into the long trade as well. So to enter long, we would like to see a break of our three structures, meaning the 50 EMA, the 0.618 Fibonacci level, and our minor resistance on the 4-hour time frame. So if we see a breakout, we may jump into the long trade and target our next weekly effective resistance right here. So guys, thanks for watching. Press the like button, subscribe to our free Telegram channel, consider to join VIP as well, leave the comments, and see you the next week.